Today we're taking you on an exhilarating tour of the land of the rising sun, where the impossible becomes possible. The Japanese taboos, seemingly trivial, yet strictly upheld. By the end of this video, your perception of Japan will be forever transformed. You'll come to believe just as I do that the Japanese hail from a different planet. If you're planning a visit to Japan and happen to be adorned with tattoos, even the tiniest visible ink, you're in for a surprise. Tattoos are heavily frowned upon. Displaying them proudly in public places can lead to being banned from certain establishments like swimming pools, baths, gyms, and even traditional Japanese inns called ryokans. While many Japanese individuals appreciate tattoos, they keep them carefully covered due to social norms and employment needs. This taboo is so strong that even the notorious Yakuza, a rebellious mafia group known for their dominant tattoos, opt for tattoos in places typically covered by clothing. This illustrates just how much tattoos are disliked in Japan. In many cultures, leaving a tip is seen as a gesture of appreciation. However, in Japan, it's strictly forbidden to leave coins for waiters, taxi drivers, hairdressers, doormen, or anyone who provides a service for which they are already compensated. While you may want to express gratitude, tipping can be considered impolite and insulting in Japanese society. In fact, most Japanese restaurants require customers to pay at the cash register rather than leaving money on the table. So, if you're in Japan and receive exceptional service, rest assured it's not because they're expecting a tip. The Japanese take pride in their work and strive to provide the best service possible, regardless of monetary incentives. Embrace their dedication and enjoy the exceptional experiences they offer. Don't be surprised if you visit Japan during Valentine's Day and see no one kissing, caressing, or showing gestures of affection in public. Such displays are frowned upon. Most Japanese, being reserved and modest by nature, think drawing attention to oneself in public is bad behavior. They are uncomfortable with public displays of affection like kissing, holding hands, and caressing. This isn't about incivility or religious beliefs, but simply about modesty. In Japan, the number 4 is terrifying, a digit that strikes fear into the hearts of many Japanese. It's associated with death and is considered very unlucky. Consequently, you'll rarely come across the number 4 or anything related to it. Buildings often skip the 4th floor. Items are rarely priced at 4 yen or even 4 scoops of ice cream. People avoid buying packs of water with 4 bottles, and even transportation systems avoid using the number 4. It's a superstition that runs deep within Japanese culture, similar to how Friday the 13th is regarded in Western societies. You'll see numerous examples of avoiding the number 4, reflecting deep-rooted cultural beliefs. One tradition you'll encounter everywhere in Japan is removing your shoes before entering a home. As you enter, you'll notice rows of shoes neatly lined up at the entrance, which is known as the genkan. In Japan, it's customary to remove your shoes upon entering any home. Whether returning from work, school, or visiting someone, taking off your shoes is a sign of respect. You'll then slip into slippers provided specifically for guests. This practice honors the host and maintains cleanliness. This stems from the Japanese desire to maintain a clear distinction between the outside world and the sanctity of their homes. They even have a designated room called the genkan, where all shoes are left behind. So, if you ever visit a Japanese home, remember to remove your shoes and follow their customs. And don't forget to turn your shoes towards the door if you want to blend in and avoid any social faux pas. Imagine catching a cold while on a business trip in Japan. Your nose is constantly running and you desperately want to blow it, seeking some relief. However, blowing your nose in public is considered highly disrespectful and seen as an act of affront. The Japanese prefer to endure their discomfort, refraining from blowing their noses. It's regarded as unclean as urine, so much so that blowing your nose in the metro would be akin to publicly urinating. It may sound peculiar, but cultural norms can be fascinating. Would you adhere to this custom if faced with a similar situation? Now let's talk about refusing offers. In Japan, declining something is an art form. Unlike our straightforward no, the Japanese employ various implicit techniques to convey their disagreement politely. They might use long, complex sentences, negative phrases, or even expressions of regret. It's a delicate dance of humility and kindness, all in the name of maintaining polite, courteous interactions and well-mannered. Have you ever noticed Japanese tourists photographing everything but intentionally blurring faces. In Japan, photographing someone's face in public isn't a criminal offense, but it can be a civil offense if the person finds their portrait published without consent. That's why Japanese bloggers, YouTubers, and TV programs blur the faces of their subjects. It's a meticulous process that respects individuals' privacy and avoids potential legal issues. So, snap away, but remember to blur those faces. Think you're a chopsticks pro? In Japan, using chopsticks or hashi involves more than just picking up food. First, when you are done eating, place the chopsticks on a chopstick rest called hashioki, or make one from the chopstick wrapper if necessary. Always put the chopsticks back in their bag after the meal, folding the end of the bag as a sign of respect and cleanliness. Never forget to keep those chopstick tips clean. If they get dirty, a quick wipe with a paper napkin will do the trick. But remember, never use your mouth to remove any debris. Hygiene is key. Now, when it comes to placing your chopsticks on the table or tray, there's a specific way to do it. Always lay them horizontally on your side with the pointed ends facing left. In Japan, it's considered impolite to leave the pointed ends facing others. In Japan, using chopsticks to clean your teeth or to gesture towards someone is a big no-no. Chopsticks are meant for one purpose only: enjoying your meal. So resist the temptation to use them for anything else. And here's another fascinating tidbit. Avoid placing your two chopsticks vertically in your bowl. It's reminiscent of a funeral ceremony where a bowl of rice is left aside with two chopsticks planted vertically. Let's keep our dining experiences free of unintended symbolism, shall we? Time is of the essence, and in Japan, punctuality is taken to a whole new level. Punctuality holds great importance in Japanese society. Whether it's catching a train or meeting someone, being on time is a crucial aspect of Japanese culture. Trains in Japan adhere to strict timetables, down to the minute. Even a small delay can result in a certificate of delay being issued by the railway company. And it's not just about trains. Punctuality is highly valued in schools and workplaces as well. In Japan, being late is seen as a significant mistake that can damage one's reputation. So when a Japanese friend tells you they'll meet you at 12:30 p.m., you can be sure they mean exactly that, no minute more or less. Japan truly offers a wealth of fascinating traditions to discover. See you in the next video.